Welcome back to Paneer and Pancakes. I'm Vaaruni Joshi, and grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive right in. So today I'm talking about the various times I've had to explain myself and other parts of random things to like my teachers and like my friends and whatever, and it's like a bit of a hodgepodge episode, but it's kind of interesting, I guess. So starting off strong, and which is the title of this episode, I had to explain Pani Puri. So one of my teachers like had it once or like seen it or something, I don't remember, and had like no idea what the name was, and their explanation it was absolutely hilarious. Like he was like, oh, like it was a shell, and you put a mixture in, you like poke a hole in the shell with your thumb, and then you put a mixture in it, and then you put like water in it, and then he like was looking at us, and he was like, and some people eat it in one bite, and it's insane, and he was like going on and on. He was like completely fascinated, and I was just had to like hold back my laughter when I figured out what he was talking about. Like it took me a little bit, like once he said like water, like I realized what he was talking about, but until then I was like shell, like my mind went to like turtle, and I was just like so confused. But yeah, I had to explain, like I proceeded to explain it obviously, and I was like, Pani Puri is like a street food, and it's like really tasty, and like that's perfectly normal. And he was just like watching, like he was just like listening to me and talking about it, and I had to like show him pictures and everything. It was so funny. Yeah, and actually with the same teacher, he wanted to know like what I was gonna do special like for my birthday. So I told him like I was gonna like eat like dabeli, and I like started to explain like what it was, but I literally could not find the words because I was like, how do I explain this? So I spent like 5 minutes at the beginning of class showing him pictures of it on Google while he tried to understand what it was. And then like for some of the different things like I was saying, like he was trying to relate it back to like a burger, and I was just like basically just being nice and being like, sure, like yeah, I guess. But it was like really funny. But honestly, it's kind of a core memory because like he cared so much to listen like to me just like talk about it for like 5 minutes and how much I loved it. So yeah, and he also wasted class time for that. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah. Also, once I had to explain like that Diwali is like the festival of lights, like yes, but it's also like more than that. Like, and I basically had to give like a whole rundown of like what it is from like a religious standpoint, and like I got pretty close to like the actual like whole story and everything. Like obviously like I made it a little bit easier to understand, I guess. And it was kind of insane because like I forget like that like what I grew up with, like things that I've literally been hearing for my entire life, like 16 years, like isn't what everyone has learned, like not what they don't even know anything about this. And like it kind of like reminded me like why I love to like share my culture and like spread it with like those who've like literally never been exposed to it before. And yeah, like I guess like I feel like super lucky when I share things like that because like each time I do, like I get so excited because like people think my life's interesting and like the things that like are so normal to me, like they're so like excited to learn about it. And I guess that's kind of like why I started the podcast too, like now that I think about it, because like I guess like while people know like in general like about Indian culture and like American culture and everything, like I guess like my unique viewpoint and like some of like the unique viewpoints of like me and like my friends and like the things we talk about are literally insane because sometimes we like reflect and we're just like, oh my god, we're living like the most insane lives ever. Like it's really funny too because like I think I mentioned this in my Diwali episode, but like going to school in Diwali, it's like such a surreal experience. Like I've done it so many times now, but like every year I'm like reminded of like how crazy that it is, like that like I get to like mesh my two cultures in like such like obvious way, like on Diwali, you know. Yeah, and I think like I guess like sharing like what I consider like your own viewpoint and like your opinions and everything is quite literally what makes the world go round, because like without everyone's story, and as weird and annoying this sounds, like literally no one will ever learn anything. Like you're not going to learn anything if you don't know what other people think about and what they think happens and why they think in like opinions. And I guess anyway, that made no sense and was also weirdly deep. Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is, in a more coherent way, is that when you share like your culture and your opinions and your like thoughts on things, and you share it with people who like are genuinely interested in just listening and like learning, you can gain so much out of it. That's what I was trying to say. And I instead like stammered on. I was trying to say yapped and stammered. Oh my god, I'm literally losing it. Like I can't even talk. Anyway, so that's what I was trying to get at. Oh my god. I like rant so much, it's so bad. Anyway, I also say anyway too much. So yeah, that got really deep. Anyway, I actually have like one more story that I had written down to say and that I forgot about. Explaining like mehndi. That one was really insane because like my friend, like she literally could not understand what the purpose is. Like I guess I explained the purpose like pretty well. Like, oh, like, you know, you do it for like special occasions and stuff. Like I think I explained that part pretty well, but I don't think she understood like why you like how it stayed on. I guess she was like not understanding. She was like, but you took it off, right? Because I told her like it dries and you like take it off and then you get the stain, and she was just like so confused. And I was like, I don't know how to explain this, and it was like really funny. And I just like kept explaining like it'll fade after a few days, but like she was completely shocked. She was like, what do you mean like it'll fade after a few days? Like what, like doesn't it go away like immediately? And like I tried to explain like you want it to be darker, like that, it's like a really good thing, you know, if you get a dark stain. And like I get so excited too, like if I get really dark mehndi, because it'll last longer. And she was just like, what? Like she was just looking at me like I was insane. And I also I don't know why I try to do this. I try to explain how like the smell of mehndi is like the best thing you've ever smelled, but like only after it's on you, like only after it's dry and like it's faded and everything. Like it smells so good, like your hands just smell so good like all the time, but like not before, because before it's like on your hands, like even if it's in the cone, I'm okay with the cone, but when it's like freshly made, I hate the smell of that. Oh my god, I cannot stand it. And it's like it's the same things, but I cannot, it just smells so bad to me. I don't know why. I don't know anybody who actually, I know plenty of people that like the smell of mehndi actually, but I don't like it. I don't know why. So yeah, she was like completely shocked. So yeah, that was like kind of today's random episode, because all these stories are like so funny and I just like felt like I needed to share them, but I didn't know like if I needed to do like separate episodes, because honestly like they kind of go like in the same theme of like me just explaining like random things to people, like, and honestly the way they come up is so funny too, because like it's not like we're sitting down and they're like, oh, like tell me about like you and like your life, and I'm no, like it just comes up like randomly. So yeah, that was today's rant. I need to stop ranting. All I do on this podcast is yap. Like that's literally what I do. Like that's all I do. That's all I do in person too. Like when I'm actually like having conversations, like I just yap. Like that's literally all I do. So yeah, I think the amount of times I've actually done this like random like explanation things to people is like rising like so rapidly. Like honestly, like in the past like year or two, like I've had to explain like so much more, which is like not what you would expect. Like you would think it'd be less, you know, like people would learn, but no, not, apparently not. So yeah, that was today's kind of chaotic episode. So yeah, thank you for listening to Paneer and Pancakes. Don't forget to subscribe and review us on Spotify and YouTube, and follow us on Instagram for updates and more content. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.